Hello, myself Sunil Ramkrishnan, and here basically we are talking about the attraction object and the person next generation is supposed to go or not supposed to go. Supposed to go means he will basically be going to be next generation in that particular area basically. One example basically I have already taken of the education industry basically. For one Harvard University student basically jumped into the World Bank, and that time basically he got one product, and that product basically was connected with the World Bank. And that World Bank basically told that basically 4 to 5 buildings basically you need to create. So that for that basically the Harvard University told that basically we will create 4 to 5 new buildings, and there basically entire syllabus basically got changed. So this was basically the attraction basically. This was basically the attraction. So now basically here the question is, one person actually literally asked, education basically is totally same, right? That why basically the Harvard like university gets good chance in big MNC company, and the normal person basically who is uh, doing the study in the normal university, how basically he don't get the big chance basically. Then he literally told that you are correct basically. Money basically also basically matters. There should be some difference between the money people and the poor, near normal medium people and the poor people. So he told that, yeah, basically, because money has created. That's why basically, if you want anything, then basically you need to purchase some product. Basically, you can purchase a product through money only. There is no other option. There is basically no other option. So this basically the example basically he has given, and he basically told that education basically is also by default basically connected with the money industry only. They basically directly connected the education with money industry basically. Then basically he told that basically money industry means poopet actually. So this is basically also one of the topic basically that we are going to discuss in this video or by next video. But before that, basically he told that what actually the difference between the Harvard, Oxford University and the normal university basically. Then he told that basically the major difference basically is the syllabus, how they study. That is the main thing. Both syllabus basically, if you compare the syllabus basically of the normal university and the Harvard and Oxford University, both are totally different. And that also very basically systematic basically you can say. They actually create the system basically you can say. They create the Harvard system, they create the Oxford system. This person basically, how you can recognize he is a Harvard University person basically, because his system basically is up to that level basically. He creates a system, and according to that system basically he works. And if he basically reach to the top level executive, then basically he create that system in his company only basically. And according to that basically employee gets the training, and this gets spreads. Same way Oxford, and same way the normal university people basically works basically. So that basically he told. Then basically he given one more example basically. When you basically are doing the study of the Harvard University books, then you basically connects to that 300 city basically. You connects to that 300 city, and that 300 cities few area basically connects entire 300 city basically. You can't purchase one Harvard University can't purchase the 300 city basically, because to create one city only basically it takes 20 to 30 lakh crore people, sorry, 20 to 30 lakh rupees, not people. So basically means energy basically you can say, to create the city basically. One person told asked that how many basically people's energy basically required to create one city basically. Then he basically literally shocked here, what actually answer, question basically you have asked actually, because this is connecting to the totally connecting to the pollution basically. The demo was so the what actually the global warming basically, one person basically has given the name. It's connecting directly to this creation basically. He told that, yeah, basically you are correct, yeah. So he told that basically America says that basically we takes around 20 lakh people energy basically to create one city. Europe basically told that we just take 15 lakh people basically energy to create one city. India told that we take basically 30 lakh people energy to create one city. So like this basically each and every country basically told that basically we are taking this much, that much, this much, that, because there is no system basically created for this. There is no system created by, and system creation basically is the task of the USA basically, because USA say that we are basically number one and we basically handles each and everything basically, and they only jump everywhere basically. So, but they actually was not able to jump here basically. The thing basically were supposed to jump, they basically never jumps there. So this is actually the jump area basically, where basically USA say that we actually was supposed to jump, but we actually not jumped. So there might be some, they might have basically thought this long before. They might be preparing the system also basically. Their universities are there, Oxford groups are there, Harvard groups are there. They might be doing the research of this also basically. That this many this for example, Vadodara city basically took 25 lakh people energy. Surat city took 30 lakh energy. Like this, Ahmedabad city basically took 40 lakh energy. 40 lakh people's energy basically. Delhi took 1 crore people energy. Bangalore took basically 5 lakh people energy. Hyderabad basically told that basically they take around 3 crore people energy. In Kerala basically few cities like Pathanamthitta, Chengalpattu, they told that basically we took 8 to 9 lakh basically energy. Then basically one of the city basically Chennai told that basically we took around 50 lakh people energy. So like this, what actually this is? One person basically asked the literally one question actually. What actually this is? He told that basically to create city basically, um, there is only one option. That is basically the human energy only basically can be used. And the another way is the nature basically. Nature means what actually? He told that nature actually is what? He literally asked the question basically. He literally asked this basically the topic which I am discussing, that is basically directly connected with the pollution basically which is currently ongoing in the whole world basically. That basically name somebody has given as a global warming. Somebody has given basically, why he has given that name basically, that he only might be knowing it. So that is basically his topic basically, why he basically has given the name. There might be some reason basically, the code basically behind that basically word basically which he has given. So here basically the thing is global warming basically. We also say that it's a global warming. But here the thing is basically one person told that basically we don't have this system basically. Can we create the one software company basically owner told that basically one big company software owner, because only big company software company can afford this type of projects basically, because it's connected to countries to countries. That's why basically only big company software company can do this. So he basically told that asked the government basically, can we do this type of system basically. He asked actually, he took taken the permission, because this is connected with countries to countries. So he told that basically first he asked the Indian government. He was basically literally very high profile person basically. So he asked the Indian government. The Indian government told that yeah basically you can. Like this basically he asked many countries basically. The country's government told that basically yeah basically you can basically. Then the data security will be your issue basically. For example, one city took 15 lakh or 16 or 17 lakh people. It should not be become 20 lakh, 30 lakh basically. Then he told that yeah, basically I can basically give the guarantee up to of the data basically, because we are up to the secure level basically. Our data basically are secure level. So like this basically he taken the permission from lots of countries basically, and then basically he told that basically yeah basically we can prepare this system, and this system actually become the main source of the pollution problem. The pollution problem basically which is currently occurring across the world. He basically know that if I create this system basically, then I will be earning lots of money. That also this system basically might become the biggest system of the world basically, and basically I can earn more money from this system. So basically he basically thought basically big level basically, because he was a businessman basically, and businessmen basically always think of profit and loss only. So he basically told that basically I can basically start this project, and he basically started the project. Like this basically he created the systems. He basically hired the project manager, directors, developers, quality people, and each and every people, basically directors, senior directors, vice presidents, CEOs, and basically he was the owner basically. So he basically was handling the system basically, because he will be responsible for the system basically. That's why he basically was by default basically connected here, because it's connected with countries to country na. It's not basically within the country basically the system is ongoing, because it's connected to international level. So by default basically he was connected every time basically. So without his decision basically not a single changes basically happens in the system. So he basically started the system, and he basically, this basically is the, basically you can say the comparison between the normal university person and the Harvard University and Oxford University person. So he started the system basically, and he basically told that basically this system basically is going to be biggest system basically in this world basically. So this system basically we are going to discuss how this system basically is connected with the pollution problem. Mostly basically if one normal person basically like I basically can think up to this level, then basically the Harvard and Oxford and the big software company basically might think basically long before basically, like Infosys person basically. Infosys basically says that we are artificial, we have reached up to the artificial intelligence project. So they basically 100% you can ask a Infosys person basically, do we government basically can ask Infosys person basically, do you basically created this project basically? Have you basically got anything basically some time in your mind that basically we should create this project? We should do something for the Earth planet basically, because we Earth planet is giving us lots of money. We are basically staying in big Pali Hill like a house, and then basically we are staying in big bungalows basically. So Earth planet basically has given us lots of things. So have you basically ever thought of the Earth planet? Then he told them basically, yeah, basically we have this type of project. So like this basically Infosys, TCS basically have this type of project basically. Government told that basically, yeah, basically they have this project. So like this basically system is there. So this basically system we are going to discuss basically how, what actually the system. So here basically the topic was, what is basically difference between Harvard University person, Oxford University and the normal basically university person. So they told that basically 300 city basically is the example. 300 city basically is the example, which basically I just now discussed. The 300 city basically, the 1000 city is the syllabus basically. 1000 is the number of the syllabus basically. We basically give the training to the our students basically. So 1000 is the number, and then basically the 1000 is the number, and the 300 is basically the uh, uh, city basically. So from three city basically, the the Harvard University students basically gets ideas. Ideas means basically they can able to think that. For example, one person told that this basically read books basically we are reading. Other than Oxford University basically person basically we are reading this, but we are not able to understand what actually thing is. Few people says that we are reading and we are understanding, but the energy basically which is supposed to generate, and that is not getting generated basically. So that is also basically one topic that also basically we are going to discuss actually. This is a very dangerous topic actually, because few paragraph basically, the which the Harvard University basically gives, that same paragraph basically the normal university also gives, and mostly basically 3000 university also basically gives. So what actually this is, that is also basically we are going to discuss how basically this is also the one of the reason of the pollution basically, the global warming, which basically the mostly 20 percentage problem basically of the global warming is education system basically. Education systems energy basically, what is that basically that we are going to discuss. So that one example basically I have given of the paragraph basically, one simple paragraph basically, which Harvard University says that basically we have basically created this paragraph, and that same paragraph basically exists in the all the universities basically, all the universities. And one person told that basically we are reading this same paragraph of the Harvard University which is given in the book. Our energy is totally different basically getting generated, and Harvard University's energy is totally different, basically getting generated. So that is basically one big global warming issue basically, which basically the education industry is responsible. So who are those group that also basically we are going to discuss basically how the education system basically, this means basically it's the education system error basically. What is this error basically, that also we are going to discuss. And how basically this error basically, which was basically used by the universe group also, and they trusted the education industry basically, and they trusted the education industry, and they basically told that we have merged the this everything basically into the universe also basically. That also basically we are going to discuss how, why basically they trusted also. So here basically the thing is basically the university of the Harvard, Oxford, and the other university, they have basically the reading style basically, each and everything syllabus basically. Here basically Harvard University says that basically we have 1,000 syllabus, and in 1,000 syllabus basically we are directly using our energy basically. Nobody's basically created this all sorry 30 sorry 300 build cities basically. We have basically created in entire 300 in one city basically. Entire area is not of Harvard, few area basically. Hmm. So he told that basically we are using our own energy infrastructure basically. Then basically nobody is supposed to ask question basically about this basically, because that's our area basically. We are basically told that we are going to produce this apple and oranges in the demand and supply of the apple and orange market basically. So we are handling this demand and supply basically. The Harvard University basically told that we are handling the demand and supply. So this connects to economics group basically. So economic basically professor basically connected here. So like this basically the economic professor told that basically, yeah, basically one the economic person told that he was handling the demand and supply of apple and orange basically. Then he basically told that there is a shortage of apple and orange in this basically country basically. Then he like literally basically told that that is basically Harvard University's error basically. That's due to this Harvard University basically we basically are getting less apple and oranges basically. He literally told that basically because he basically have the data, right? He basically have the data of the apple and university demand and supply basically, from where the supplies basically are getting and how basically the demands are getting. That basically all data basically that the economic professor basically might be having that. Which, that's why basically he told that basically Harvard University basically was producing less apple and less orange. That's why basically he's basically directly given the name. So like this basically the Harvard group says that basically we basically keeps the demand and supply of each and every products basically which we are producing in the market. That market is basically to Earth planet market. Earth planet demand and supply market basically of the human needs basically, you can say. So human needs basically is one basically topic that basically that this basically also connects to one system basically. The demand and supply of the particular orange and apple basically is connecting up to what level, up to university energy level basically it is connecting. So how basically this demand and supply basically is connected, and each and everything basically is connected. So yeah, basically the software industry, basically one of the expert basically told that can we create this system basically. Then he told that basically the government told that basically, yeah, basically you can basically create this system basically, because we should know, right, that why the apple and why the apple and orange basically is producing less. Then he told that basically that's Harvard University is responsible basically, because they basically was supposed to generate the energy and from their 1,000 syllabus basically the 1,000 syllabus basically which is basically the 300 city connected here infrastructure basically connected here. According to that basically they are supposed to generate the orange and apple energy basically, orange and apple in the market basically. That's their responsibility. So like this basically this system basically connected, and they told that basically these groups are basically responsible for less apple and orange demand and supply. Then basically they also should be clear that basically we are supplying apple and orange perfectly, whatever according to the order basically we have got, according to that basically we are supplying. Then basically they told that basically we basically spreads the apple and orange, and we basically have the each and every energy of the apple and orange basically up to what level the apple and orange basically is going. Like this basically the apple and orange basically the energy basically is going up to this level, and we are basically producing the apple and orange perfectly. perfectly basically. Sometimes basically satellite groups also basically connects here basically. So like this basically the apple and orange basically groups basically was the human needs and responsible basically for the human needs basically less and more basically. So like this basically it's connected to human and needs of the system. Basically you can say this actually connected with the system of the human needs basically. So this also basically connected with the new software system basically, that was basically the human needs basically, which is supposed to be in the market basically of the software industry. Then basically the big software company told that basically yeah basically we have the system basically, because if the one normal person like Sunil or Nair basically can think up to this level, then basically we have thought long before basically. He is not supposed to discuss this here basically. He's not supposed to discuss this here basically. Then basically he told that basically the human needs basically whatever the human need we have basically 800 crore population currently, basically the population might have less basically, because currently there are lots of war ongoing. So I will say that basically near about 800 crore population basically are in this world, and according to that basically according to that basically the human needs basically gets generated. And for that basically we have created the system also basically. We have basically created the system also basically of the human needs basically. And few people says that basically he is basically telling lots of things basically. Then one of the Harvard person basically told that basically we have to do something for of that particular person basically. Then he told that basically we have to give him pressure, and we have to attack his head, and basically we have to attack his eye also basically, because he's telling lots of things basically. He's basically creating error of basically our system basically. He's basically creating error of our system basically. So basically we should connect with the one of the Harvard students basically in Gujarat basically or Vadodara, and tell him to basically do something of this particular guy. So like this basically things also basically connects. Like this also basically things connects basically. So here basically the ego problem comes, the jealousy basically problem comes, lots of things basically connects here. So this is also basically one of the attraction basically, attraction of jalan basically, attraction of basically the jealousy basically you can say. That basically how basically one normal person basically can think up to Harvard University and Oxford University level basically. So this connects basically with the university to university level basically. University to university level basically, one basically how the normal university person can think up to this level. He's basically not supposed to think up to that level basically. So now basically Harvard University told that basically how the one government told that basically how you can say that basically you can control the thinking of the particular person also, who basically has given you the rights. He basically literally argued it. Then basically who basically has given you the rights to basically how basically the person is supposed to think, and how basically is not supposed to person think basically. So like this also basically the problem basically connected. So like this that is also basically different topic, that is basically comes into the jalan topic basically, jealousy topic basically, how basically the people gets jealous. So that is also basically one topic basically, that also basically we are going to discuss here, that what actually jalan is, jealousy basically, and up to what level basically the people do if he gets basically jealous. One person told that basically there was one person basically in Mumbai basically, he was basically earning 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. Then basically few friends basically thought that yeah basically he's earning lots of money basically, we have to do something to that particular person. Then they told that basically can we do his marriage with one HIV AIDS girl basically. Then he told that yeah basically we should do basically. Then basically if he will get the marriage with HIV AIDS girl, then basically he will not able to earn the money basically. His earning basically system will stop. So some this idea basically was given by one of the person basically from Mumbai basically. One of the person basically from Mumbai. Then basically got married with HIV AIDS girls, and then basically he's literally the system of the money income basically gets stopped. people basically the software company basically stopped his income basically because they told that basically he's having HIV/AIDS girls basically. Sorry, he basically married with one of the HIV/AIDS girl and he basically got HIV/AIDS. So basically we can't give him job because the rule of the company says that basically HIV/AIDS people are not supposed to work in the companies basically. That also basically software companies basically, because in software company rich people basically people do the study, sorry, do the job here basically. So rich people basically can't allow the one HIV/AIDS person basically. So like this also basically jealous basically comes with. So this jealous basically is one topic basically we are going to discuss later on basically. So here the thing is basically one Harvard University, Oxford University, and the one normal university basically difference basically. So here one difference basically we have already told. The 300 city basically is the basically the city from where the 100,000 syllabus basically the topics basically are taken, and the energies are also basically taken, and according to that basically the demand supply of apple and orange basically gets fulfilled basically. So here basically the thing is the Harvard also basically says that basically we have to also track that basically we are supplying this much energies basically, so we should basically know that how much energy basically we are supplying. So that's basically our rights basically. He literally told that basically one of the economic professor basically literally done the complaint to the World Economic Forum that basically this Harvard University is not supplying the perfect energy to the energy department basically, that is basically the apple energy and the orange energy. Then basically they told that basically whatever according to the data they have given by the energy groups, according to that basically we are working. So they told that basically we also basically now need to jump into the energy industry. So they told that basically we need to one create one subject basically that is equal to text box equal to thousand cities. How basically the thousand city basically got created, that subject basically we need to start in the our Harvard University syllabus. So basically, they told that basically we will introduce one subject so that basically our people basically also will be going to jump into the energy part. So that basically we should be also clear that we have produced this many this much energy basically. Why you are telling that basically the apple energy and orange energy is basically less produced by Harvard University. They basically the economic professor directly blamed and done the complaint basically of the Harvard University. So Harvard University was Harvard University. They basically told that basically we can't basically take this type of complaint. Basically, we are basically number one university, from basically top 10 university basically. We basically can't take this basically. We can't insult, keep our insult basically. Sorry, we can't basically have our insult of the university like this basically. So they literally basically created one syllabus basically, and they hired a few professor basically also basically. So they basically literally hired the professor also basically, and they started the new syllabus that basically is text box equal to thousand cities and 2000 cities equal to combo box, check box equal to 3000 cities. How basically it works? Because it's a digital world, right? So they told that basically we can start with digital only basically. Then basically they started like this, and then basically they jumped into the later on basically the digital later on the normal energy level basically. So like these things are also there. So like this basically they told that basically we basically should keep each and everything clear about the system basically, which is basically currently ongoing. Nobody should ever supposed to blame that basically this you have not done, this basically you have done, you are supposed to do basically but you have not done. So these all are basically the blames basically. These are basically are a complaint basically, and you are not aware of the things basically which you are generating, then basically you will be in problem basically. So this basically literally told, and they basically told that basically we also need to create one system basically, one system basically of the problem system basically. He basically literally told that we need to create one system basically, that this basically problem comes into the against the Harvard group basically, then basically what action we have taken. So they told that basically we have the forum basically, but we need to create one system basically for this. So they basically connected with few software industry group basically, who basically was done the study with the Harvard group, and they basically were a owner of the software company, and they basically told that basically, can you please create this system? Basically, then basically told that basically, yeah, basically we can create this system, and basically they have the more. They basically told that we have lots of problems. According to that problem, basically what solution basically was given by the set of groups, basically that basically also was the one of the system basically. So problem and one solution. One example basically I have taken already. The Harvard University basically this is basically one problem basically. Like a Harvard University told that we have basically one paragraph in the our book basically, but that that paragraph when the Harvard University is reading, then basically they are generating the apple and orange energy, but the another person basically is reading, he's generating not he's generating totally different thing basically. What is basically that also basically we are going to discuss. So that basically conflict basically connected to the global warming issue basically. Like this basically education industry also basically connects with the global warming. That is basically mostly over the 100% from 100% problem basically 20 percentage problem are basically from the education industry basically. So this is basically one of the problem basically just now basically I have told. So this is also basically one of the topic basically of the attraction, and the which the topic basically which connects that which person basically generation is supposed to go to next, and which generation is supposed to go not supposed to go next. For example, my generation is supposed to go next, and one group told that basically no, his generation can't go next means basically his marriage is not supposed to happen. His if marriage will happen, then only if we will get job basically, then only marriage will happen. Like this basically the his generation is supposed to, and there is we have not finished his medical things also basically. Like this lots of things basically connects to the next generation. So the topic is basically the next generation of particular person is supposed to go, or basically the person's generation is not supposed to go and not supposed to go. So this is basically one topic basically. Next basically topic basically is next video basically we are going to discuss the same basically, and the few more things about the attraction faster, and the next generation is supposed to go and next generation is not supposed to.